Poor people and rich people have the same 24 hours, breathe the same air, and live on the same planet. The difference isn't luck, connections, or circumstances. The difference is what they do with their time, who they choose to become, and how they think about money, success, and opportunity. If you're broke, it's because you've made broke decisions consistently over time. Here's something that might shock you. Life is not designed to give you what you need. Life is designed to give you what you deserve. And right now, today, you are getting exactly what you deserve based on who you have become and what you have done. Now, I know that might sting a little. Some of you might be thinking, wait a minute, Jim, I deserve better than this. I deserve more money, better health, stronger relationships. And you know what? You might be absolutely right. But here's the thing I learned after years of struggling, after years of making excuses, after years of blaming everyone and everything else for my circumstances. Wanting something and deserving something are two completely different things. When I was 25 years old, I was broke. Not just financially broke, but broke in every area of my life. I had pennies in my pocket, my health was poor, my relationships were struggling, and I was going nowhere fast. I remember standing in my apartment looking around at what little I had and feeling sorry for myself. I was angry at the government, angry at my boss, angry at the economy, angry at everyone except the one person who was responsible for my situation. Me. Then something happened that changed everything. My mentor asked me a simple question. Jim, how much money have you saved in the last 6 years? I said, none. He said, who decided that? I said, well, I had to pay for this and I had to pay for that. He said, no, Jim, who decided that you would not save any money? That's when it hit me. I decided. I made that choice every single day for 6 years. See, most people spend their lives as victims. They believe that what happens to them is more important than what happens in them. They think their circumstances determine their life, when the truth is they determine their circumstances. They're waiting for their ship to come in, but they never sent one out. You want to know the difference between people who build the life they deserve and people who settle for whatever life hands them? It's simple. One group takes responsibility, and the other group takes excuses. The excuse makers say, if only I had more money, I would start my business. The responsibility takers say, I will start my business and then I will have more money. The excuse makers say, if only I had more time, I would get in shape. The responsibility takers say, I will make time to get in shape because my health is important. The excuse makers say, if only people treated me better, I would be happier. The responsibility takers say, I will become the kind of person who attracts better treatment. You see the difference? One group is waiting for life to change so they can change. The other group is changing so their life will change. Here's what I want you to understand. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a product of your decisions. Every single day you make decisions that either move you closer to the life you deserve or keep you stuck where you are. You decide what to read, what to watch, who to spend time with, how to spend your money, what to eat, when to exercise, how to treat people, and what to focus on. Now, I'm not saying that bad things don't happen to good people. They do. I'm not saying that life is always fair. It's not. What I'm saying is that you always have a choice in how you respond to what happens to you. You can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to be a victor. Let me share something with you that might surprise you. Rich people don't get rich because they're lucky. Healthy people don't get healthy because they have good genes. Successful people don't get successful because they know the right people. They get where they are because they do the right things consistently over time. The market doesn't pay you for your time. The market pays you for your value. Ooh, if you want to earn more, you have to become more valuable. If you want to attract better relationships, you have to become more attractive as a person. If you want better health, you have to become someone who makes better health choices. This is where most people get stuck. They want their life to change, but they don't want to change. They want different results, but they keep doing the same things. They want to build the life they deserve, but they're not willing to become the person who deserves that life. I learned this the hard way. I spent years trying to change my circumstances without changing myself. I would make a little money and then spend it all. I would start an exercise program and then quit after a week. I would try to improve my relationships and then fall back into the same old patterns. It wasn't until I realized that I needed to work harder on myself than I worked on my job that things started to change. See, if you work hard on your job, you can make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. Not just a financial fortune, but a fortune in all areas of your life. The life you deserve is not going to be handed to you. You have to build it, brick by brick, day by day, choice by choice. You have to become the architect of your own life. You have to stop being a passenger and start being the driver. Most people major in minor things. They spend their time on activities that don't matter and wonder why their life doesn't change. They watch television for hours every day, but won't spend 30 minutes reading a book that could change their life. They know all the sports statistics, but don't know the first thing about investing. They can tell you what every celebrity is doing, but can't tell you what they're doing to improve their own life. Here's what successful people do differently. They invest in themselves. They read books, attend seminars, listen to educational programs, and surround themselves with people who challenge them to grow. They understand that the greatest investment you can make is in yourself, because that's the one investment that can never be taken away from you. The wake-up call is this: you are where you are because of who you are. If you want to be somewhere else, you have to become someone else. Not completely different, but better, more skilled, more disciplined, more valuable, more focused. The good news is that you can change, you can grow, you can improve, you can become more than you are right now. But it starts with taking responsibility for where you are and making a decision to do something about it. Stop making excuses, stop blaming others, stop waiting for perfect conditions, start taking action, start making better choices, start becoming the person who deserves the life you want. The life you deserve is waiting for you, but it's not going to come to you. You have to go to it. You have to earn it. You have to build it. And it all starts with changing your philosophy about life, about success, about what you deserve and what you're willing to do to get it. This is your wake-up call. This is your moment. This is where your new life begins. Now that you understand the wake-up call, we need to talk about what it really means to deserve something. Because most people have this backwards. They think deserving means wanting something really badly, or needing something desperately, or having been without something for a long time. But that's not how life works. Deserving is about becoming. It's about developing yourself to the point where you naturally attract what you want. It's about building the skills, the character, the habits, and the mindset that make success inevitable. Think about it this way. Does a farmer deserve a good harvest just because he wants one? Of course not. He deserves a good harvest because he prepared the soil, planted the seeds, watered them, fertilized them, and protected them from weeds. The harvest is simply the natural result of what he did. Your life works the same way. The results you get are the natural consequence of what you've sown. If you want better results, you have to sow better seeds. If you want better harvest, you have to become a better farmer. Here's what I learned about deserving. The market pays you for the value you bring, not for the time you spend. Society rewards you for your contribution, not for your need. Life gives you what you earn, not what you want. When I was struggling financially, I used to think I deserved more money because I worked hard. I would say, I work 40 hours a week. I show up on time. I do my job. I deserve more money. But that's not how it works. The marketplace doesn't care how hard you work. It cares about the results you produce. I remember my mentor telling me, Jim, you don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. That changed everything for me. Instead of focusing on how much time I was putting in, I started focusing on how much value I was putting out. The same principle applies to every area of your life. You don't get healthy because you deserve it. You get healthy because you eat right, exercise regularly, get enough sleep, and take care of your body. You don't get wealthy because you deserve it. You get wealthy because you save money, invest wisely, develop valuable skills, and create value for others. You don't get great relationships because you deserve them. You get great relationships because you become the kind of person others want to be around. You become trustworthy, caring, interesting, supportive, and fun to be with. This is the philosophy of deserving. Become the person who naturally attracts what you want, and then what you want will come to you. But here's where it gets interesting. Life has seasons, just like nature. There's a time to plant, a time to cultivate, a time to harvest, and a time to rest. Most people want to harvest when they should be planting. They want results before they've put in the work. In spring, you plant. In the summer, you cultivate and take care of what you've planted. In the fall, you harvest. In the winter, you rest and plan for the next year. You can't change this order. You can't harvest in the spring. You can't plant in the winter. Your personal development works the same way. There's a time to learn, a time to practice, a time to apply what you've learned, and a time to enjoy the results. Most people skip the learning and practicing phases and wonder why they don't get results. When I first started in business, I wanted to make $1 million right away. I thought I deserved it because I had big dreams and was willing to work hard. But I didn't have the skills, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the experience. I was trying to harvest before I had planted anything. So I changed my approach. I decided to spend the next 5 years becoming the kind of person who could earn $1 million. I read books, attended seminars, found mentors, developed skills, and built relationships. I planted seeds every day. I cultivated my mind, my character, and my ability. And you know what happened? After 5 years of becoming, the $1 million came naturally. It wasn't luck. It wasn't timing. It was the natural result of who I had become. Here's another part of the philosophy. You have to pay full price for success, and you have to pay it in advance. Life doesn't give you credit. You can't get something for nothing. You can't get health without discipline. You can't get wealth without financial intelligence. You can't get great relationships without becoming a great person. The price of success is always paid in advance. The price of failure is paid forever. You can pay the price of discipline, or you can pay the price of regret. But you have to pay one or the other. Most people want to pay the price of success on the installment plan. They want to do a little bit today and get results tomorrow. But that's not how it works. You have to pay the full price up front. You have to put in the time, the effort, the learning, the practice, and the persistence before you see the result. This is why most people don't succeed. They're not willing to pay the price. They want success, but they don't want to become successful. They want the rewards without the responsibility. They want the harvest without the planting. But here's the good news. Once you pay the price, you own the results. Once you develop the skills, no one can take them away from you. Once you build the character, it's yours forever. Once you establish the habits, they work for you automatically. Your personal philosophy is the foundation of everything you do. It's how you think about life, about success, about what's possible for you. Most people never take the time to develop their philosophy. They just accept whatever they picked up along the way from family, friends, media, and society. But if you want to build the life you deserve, you have to build your own philosophy. You have to decide what you believe about success, about money, about relationships, about health, about personal growth. You have to decide what principles will guide your decisions and actions. Here's what I believe, and what I've seen work in my life and the lives of thousands of others. You become what you think about most of the time. Your dominant thoughts determine your dominant actions. Your dominant actions determine your dominant results. If you think about problems all the time, you'll get more problems. If you think about opportunities all the time, you'll get more opportunities. If you think about success all the time, you'll get more success. This is why it's so important to feed your mind with positive, constructive, educational material. What you put in your mind determines what comes out in your life. Garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. Most people are careless about what they put in their minds. They read the newspaper and fill their minds with problems. They watch the news and fill their minds with negativity. They listen to negative people and fill their minds with complaints and excuses. But successful people are very careful about what they put in their minds. They read books that inspire and educate them. They listen to programs that challenge and motivate them. They spend time with people who encourage and support them. The philosophy of deserving is this: take full responsibility for your life, develop yourself continuously, pay the price of success in advance, and become the person who naturally attracts what you want. When you do these things consistently over time, you will build the life you deserve. Remember, life is not what happens to you. Life is what you do with what happens to you. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your circumstances. You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. So the question is not, what do I want? The question is, who do I need to become to get what I want? When you focus on becoming instead of getting, everything changes. When you focus on deserving instead of wanting, your whole life transforms. Now that you understand the philosophy of deserving, we need to talk about the disciplines that will transform your life. Because philosophy without discipline is just wishful thinking. You can have all the right ideas, all the right intentions, all the right desires, but without discipline, nothing happens. Discipline is the bridge between thought and accomplishment. It's the bridge between inspiration and achievement. It's the bridge between necessity and productivity. Discipline is doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it. Here's what most people don't understand about discipline. It's not about making massive changes all at once. It's about making small changes consistently over time. It's about doing the little things every day that most people won't do. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. The difference between success and failure is so small, it's almost scary. It's the difference between reading 30 minutes a day or watching television. It's the difference between saving 10% of your income or spending everything you make. It's the difference between taking care of your health or neglecting it. These small differences compound over time. What seems insignificant at first becomes massive over years. The person who reads 30 minutes a day will read more than 200 books in 10 years. The person who saves 10% of their income will become wealthy over time. The person who exercises regularly will have energy and vitality for decades. But the person who doesn't do these small things will pay a massive price over time. They'll be broke, unhealthy, and uneducated. And here's the tragedy. Both paths take the same amount of time. 10 years from now, you'll be 10 years older regardless. The question is, who will you be? Let me share the key disciplines that will change everything for you. First, financial discipline. This is where most people fail. They spend more than they make, they don't save anything, and they wonder why they're always broke. Here's the simple formula for financial success. Spend less than you earn, save the difference, and invest it wisely. That's it. It's not complicated, but it does require discipline. When I was broke, I thought I needed to make more money. But my mentor taught me something different. He said, Jim, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. He showed me that wealthy people aren't necessarily the highest earners. They're the best savers and investors. So I started with what I had. Even when I was only making minimum wage, I forced myself to save something, even if it was just $5 a week. The amount didn't matter, the habit mattered. I was developing the discipline of paying myself first. Then I increased it. As I earned more, I saved more. I lived below my means instead of above them. I drove older cars, lived in smaller apartments, and wore simpler clothes so I could save and invest the difference. Here's what happened. My money started working for me instead of me working for money. My investments grew, my savings account grew, my net worth grew. And after a few years, I had enough passive income to give me choices. I could take risks. I could invest in myself. I could pursue opportunities. The discipline of saving money is really the discipline of delayed gratification. It's choosing long-term wealth over short-term pleasure. It's choosing financial freedom over financial slavery. Most people have this backwards. They sacrifice their future for present comfort. But here's the secret. The discipline of saving money is easy to do, and it's easy not to do. Skipping one purchase won't hurt you, but skipping them consistently for years will make you wealthy. Making one unnecessary purchase won't hurt you, but making them consistently for years will keep you broke. The second discipline is health discipline. Your body is your temple. It's the only place you have to live. If you don't take care of it, where are you going to live? Most people treat their cars better than they treat their bodies. They put premium gas in their cars, but junk food in their bodies. They get regular oil changes for their cars, but never get checkups for their bodies. They wash and wax their cars, but don't exercise their bodies. Health discipline is simple. Eat right, exercise regularly, get enough sleep, and avoid harmful substances. That's it. But like financial discipline, it requires consistency. When I was young, I thought I could eat anything, do anything, and my body would be fine. I was wrong. By the time I was 30, I was overweight, out of shape, and had no energy. I realized that my poor health was affecting every area of my life, so I made a decision. I decided to treat my body like it was worth $1 million. I started eating better foods. I started exercising regularly. I started getting enough sleep. I started taking vitamins and supplements. The change was amazing. I had more energy. I felt better. I looked better. I was more confident. My productivity increased. My mood improved. Everything in my life got better when my health got better. Here's what I learned. You can't perform at your best if you don't feel your best. You can't achieve your potential if you don't have the energy to pursue it. Your health affects everything else in your life. The discipline of health is also easy to do and easy not to do. One workout won't make you fit, but working out consistently will. One healthy meal won't make you healthy, but eating well consistently will. One good night's sleep won't give you energy, but sleeping well consistently will. The third discipline is relationship discipline. Success is not a solo journey. You need other people. You need mentors to guide you, partners to work with you, and friends to encourage you. But here's the key. You attract who you are, not who you want. If you want better relationships, you have to become a better person. If you want people to trust you, you have to become trustworthy. If you want people to support you, you have to become supportive. Relationship discipline means being the kind of person others want to be around. It means being honest, reliable, caring, and encouraging. It means keeping your word, showing up on time, and treating people with respect. Most people want to receive without giving. They want others to be interested in them without being interested in others. They want others to help them without helping others. But that's not how relationships work. The law of reciprocity says that you get what you give. If you want loyalty, be loyal. If you want respect, be respectful. If you want kindness, be kind. If you want love, be loving. I learned this the hard way. When I was struggling, I was bitter and resentful. I blamed others for my problems. I was negative and complaining. And you know what? People avoided me. Nobody wanted to be around someone who was always negative. But when I changed my attitude, everything changed. When I became positive and encouraging people came into my life. When I became helpful and supported people came into my life. When I became successful people came into my life. The discipline of relationships is about consistently adding value to other people's lives. It's about being genuinely interested in others, not just trying to get them interested in you. It's about giving first, serving first, helping first. Here's the fourth discipline, learning discipline. In today's world, you have to keep learning or you'll become obsolete. The skills that got you where you are won't get you where you want to go. You have to continuously upgrade your knowledge and abilities. Most people stop learning when they finish school. They think their education is complete. But formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. The discipline of learning means reading books, attending seminars, listening to educational programs, and surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to grow. It means being curious, asking questions, and seeking new knowledge. I read at least 30 minutes every day. I attend seminars regularly. I listen to educational programs in my car. I associate with people who know more than I do. I've been doing this for decades, and it's made all the difference in my life. The discipline of learning is also easy to do and easy not to do. Reading one book won't make you smart, but reading consistently will make you brilliant. Attending one seminar won't change your life, but attending seminars regularly will transform your life. The fifth discipline is the discipline of consistent activity. You have to do something every day that moves you toward your goals. You can't just think about success. You can't just plan for success. You have to take action toward success. Most people are activity poor. They're busy, but they're not productive. They're doing things, but they're not doing the right things. They're in motion, but they're not making progress. The discipline of activity means doing the important things first. It means working on your goals before you work on anything else. It means taking action even when you don't feel like it. Every day, I do something that moves me toward my goals. Even if it's just one small thing, even if I don't feel like it, even if it's inconvenient. Because I know that consistent action over time produces extraordinary results. These disciplines compound over time. Financial discipline creates wealth. Health discipline creates vitality. Relationship discipline creates influence. Learning discipline creates opportunity. Activity discipline creates results. The person who practices these disciplines consistently will build an extraordinary life. The person who doesn't will struggle. The choice is yours. The disciplines are simple, but they're not easy. They require commitment, consistency, and character. But here's the good news. Once you establish these disciplines, they become automatic. They become part of who you are. And once they become part of who you are, success becomes inevitable. Now that you understand the disciplines that change everything, we need to talk about the specific skills and activities that will accelerate your progress. Because discipline without skill is like trying to cut down a tree with a dull axe. You can work hard, but you won't get far. Skills are the tools that make everything else possible. They're the leverage that turns your effort into results. They're the multipliers that make your time more valuable. And the good news is this: skills can be learned. No matter where you are right now, no matter what your background, you can develop the skills you need to succeed. The first skill that will change your life is communication. Everything you want is on the other side of a conversation. Every opportunity comes through someone else. Every relationship is built on communication. Every sale is made through communication. Every promotion is earned through communication. Most people are poor communicators. They don't know how to express their ideas clearly. They don't know how to listen effectively. They don't know how to persuade or influence others. And because they can't communicate well, they can't get what they want. But here's the good news. Communication is a skill that can be learned. You can learn to speak more clearly, write more effectively, and listen more actively. You can learn to tell stories that capture attention, ask questions that engage people, and present ideas that inspire action. When I was young, I was a terrible communicator. I was shy, I mumbled, and I couldn't express my thoughts clearly. I was afraid to speak up in meetings. I was afraid to ask for what I wanted. I was afraid to share my ideas. And because I couldn't communicate, I couldn't advance. So I decided to learn. I read books on communication. I joined speaking clubs. I practiced in front of mirrors. I recorded myself speaking and listened to it back. I watched great speakers and studied what they did. It wasn't easy. It wasn't comfortable. But I knew that if I wanted to succeed, I had to learn to communicate. And gradually I got better. I became more confident. I became more persuasive. I became more influential. And you know what happened? Opportunities started coming to me. People started listening to my ideas. Doors started opening. My income increased. My relationships improved. Everything got better when my communication got better. The second skill is leadership. Even if you never manage anyone else, you have to learn to lead yourself. You have to learn to make decisions, take responsibility, and inspire others to follow your example. Leadership is influence. It's the ability to get people to do what needs to be done because they want to do it. It's the ability to create a vision that others want to be part of. It's the ability to bring out the best in people. Most people think leadership is about position or title, but that's not true. Leadership is about influence. You can be a leader without being a manager. You can be a leader without having a title. You can be a leader in your family, your community, your workplace, and your industry. The best leaders are servants. They serve their followers by helping them grow, succeed, and achieve their goals. They put the needs of others before their own needs. They create value for others and help them become more than they thought possible. I learned leadership by watching great leaders. I studied what they did and how they did it. I practiced leading small groups before I tried to lead large ones. I learned to lead by example, not by command. Leadership is also about taking responsibility. Leaders don't make excuses. They don't blame others. They take responsibility for their results and the results of their team. They say, the buck stops here. When things go wrong, leaders ask, what could I have done differently? When things go right, leaders give credit to others. They build people up instead of tearing them down. They create confidence instead of fear. The third skill is learning how to learn. In today's rapidly changing world, your ability to learn new things quickly will determine your success. The old model of learning everything you need to know in school and then coasting for the rest of your career is dead. Today, you have to be a lifelong learner. You have to continuously update your knowledge and skills. You have to stay current with changes in your industry. You have to learn new technologies, new methods, and new approaches. The good news is that we live in the information age. You have access to more learning resources than any generation in history. You can learn anything you want to learn. You can access courses, books, videos, and experts from anywhere in the world. But here's the key. You have to be selective about what you learn. You can't learn everything. You have to focus on learning the things that will make the biggest difference in your life and career. I recommend the 80/20 rule for learning. Spend 80% of your learning time on skills that directly relate to your goals and career. Spend 20% on general knowledge and personal interests. This way you'll continuously improve in the areas that matter most while still expanding your overall knowledge. The fourth skill is goal setting. Most people are wandering generalities instead of meaningful specifics. They have vague wishes instead of clear goals. They hope things will work out instead of making things work out. But successful people are different. They have clear, specific, written goals. They know exactly what they want, when they want it, and how they're going to get it. They have a plan, and they work their plan. Goals are like magnets. They attract the resources, opportunities, and people you need to achieve them. When you have clear goals, you start noticing things you never noticed before. You start seeing opportunities that were always there, but weren't visible to you. The process of goal setting is simple. First, decide what you want. Be specific. Instead of, I want to be rich, say, I want to earn $100,000 a year. Instead of, I want to be healthy, say, I want to weigh 160 pounds and run a marathon. Second, write it down. There's something magical about writing down your goals. It makes them real. It makes them concrete. It makes them more likely to happen. Third, set a deadline. A goal without a deadline is just a wish. When you set a deadline, you create urgency. You create pressure. You create the need to take action. Fourth, make a plan. Break your goal down into smaller steps. What do you need to do this year, this month, this week, this day to achieve your goal? The clearer your plan, the more likely you are to succeed. Fifth, take action. Goals without action are just dreams. You have to do something every day that moves you toward your goals, even if it's just one small thing, even if you don't feel like it, even if it's inconvenient. The fifth skill is the skill of serving others. Success is not just about what you get, it's about what you give. It's about how you serve others. It's about how you make a difference in the world. The most successful people are the ones who serve the most people. They create value for others. They solve problems for others. They make life better for others. And in return, they are rewarded with success, wealth, and satisfaction. This is the paradox of success. The more you give, the more you get. The more you serve, the more you are served. The more you help others achieve their goals, the more you achieve your own goals. I learned this from my mentor. He taught me that the secret to success is to find out what people want and help them get it. When you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. So I started looking for ways to serve others. I started looking for problems I could solve. I started looking for needs I could meet. I started looking for ways to add value to other people's lives. And the more I served, the more successful I became. The more problems I solved, the more opportunities came to me. The more value I created, the more wealth I accumulated. But here's the important part. You have to serve with the right motive. You can't serve others just to get something in return. You have to serve because you genuinely care about helping others. You have to serve because you want to make a difference. When your motive is pure, when your heart is right, when you truly want to help others, the universe conspires to help you. Opportunities appear, resources become available. People want to work with you. These 5 skills will transform your life: communication, leadership, learning, goal setting, and serving others. But skills without activity are worthless. You have to apply what you learn. You have to practice what you know. You have to take action on what you understand. The activity that ties all these skills together is the activity of continuous improvement. Every day you should be getting better at something. Every week you should be learning something new. Every month you should be making progress towards your goals. Most people plateau. They get to a certain level and stay there. They stop growing, they stop learning, they stop improving. But successful people never stop getting better. They're always working on themselves. They're always upgrading their skills. They're always raising their standards. The activity of continuous improvement is what separates the successful from the average. It's what turns ordinary people into extraordinary people. It's what builds the life you deserve. Remember, skills are learnable. Activities are doable. The question is not whether you can develop these skills and engage in these activities. The question is whether you will. The choice is yours. The time is now. The life you deserve is waiting for you to develop the skills to claim it. Now we come to the most important part. We've talked about the wake-up call, the philosophy of deserving, the disciplines that change everything, and the skills that accelerate your progress. Now, it's time to talk about designing the life you deserve. The life you deserve is not some fantasy. It's a real possibility that becomes available when you apply what we've discussed. But you have to be intentional about it. You have to design it. You have to build it. Most people don't design their lives. They drift through the years hoping things will work out. They wait for their ship to come in, but they never sent one out. But that's not you. Not anymore. You are the architect of your own life. You have the power to choose your direction, your activities, your associations, and your results. So what does the life you deserve look like? That's something only you can answer. But let me share some thoughts about what should be included in any well-designed life. First, your life should include financial independence. Not necessarily great wealth, but enough money that you don't have to worry about money. Enough money that you can make choices based on what you want to do, not what you have to do. Enough money that you can be generous with others and generous with yourself. Financial independence doesn't mean millions of dollars. It means enough passive income to cover your needs, enough savings for emergencies, enough investments to secure your future. For some people, this might be a few $100,000. For others, a few million. The amount matters less than the freedom it provides. Freedom to say no to things you don't want. Freedom to say yes to opportunities that excite you. Second, your life should include vibrant health and energy. What good is success if you don't have the health to enjoy it? What good is wealth if you don't have the energy to use it? What good are opportunities if you don't have the vitality to pursue them? The life you deserve includes feeling great in your body, having energy for what you love, being strong enough to handle challenges and flexible enough to adapt, living a long, active, productive life. This doesn't happen by accident. You have to eat right, exercise regularly, get enough sleep, manage stress, and avoid harmful substances. Third, your life should include meaningful relationships. Success without relationships is empty. Wealth without people to share it with is lonely. Achievement without people to celebrate with is hollow. The life you deserve includes people who love you, support you, and believe in you. People who challenge you to grow, encourage you when you're down, and celebrate when you succeed. But remember, to have great relationships, you have to be a great person. You have to be loyal, trustworthy, encouraging, and fun. You have to give before you get. Fourth, your life should include meaningful work. You spend too much of your life working to hate what you do. The life you deserve includes work that challenges you, fulfills you, and rewards you. Work that uses your talents and contributes to something bigger than yourself. This might mean starting your own business, finding the right career, or turning your passion into your profession. Your work should be something you're proud of, something that makes a difference. Fifth, your life should include personal growth and contribution. The life you deserve is not just about what you get, it's about who you become and what you give. It's about growing into the best version of yourself and using your growth to help others. This means continuously learning and improving, developing your character, expanding your knowledge, refining your skills, becoming more than you are today, and helping others do the same. The ultimate question is not how much can I get, but how much can I become? Not what's in it for me, but what can I contribute? Here's something important. The life you deserve is not a destination, it's a journey. It's not something you achieve once and you're done, it's something you're constantly creating and improving. Life is not about having perfect circumstances, it's about making the best of whatever circumstances you have. The life you deserve is not without problems. It's a life where you have the skills and character to handle whatever comes your way. You will face challenges and setbacks, but when you've developed yourself, built your skills, established good relationships, and created financial security, you can handle whatever life throws at you. The life you deserve also includes balance. Success in one area at the expense of all other areas is not success at all. You need balance between work and family, between earning and giving, between achieving and enjoying, between growing and relaxing. This doesn't mean everything has to be perfectly balanced all the time. Sometimes you'll need to focus more on work. Sometimes you'll need to focus more on family. Sometimes you'll need to focus more on health. But over time, all the important areas of your life should receive attention. The life you deserve includes leaving a legacy, making a difference that outlasts your lifetime, contributing something valuable to the world, being remembered for the right reasons. Your legacy is not just what you accumulate, it's what you contribute. It's not just what you achieve, it's what you give. This might mean raising great children, building a business that serves customers, creating art that inspires people, or solving problems that help society. Your life should count for something. But here's the most important thing about the life you deserve. It starts now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Now, today, this moment. You don't have to wait until you have everything figured out. You don't have to wait until conditions are perfect. You just have to start. Take the first step. The life you deserve is built one day at a time, one choice at a time, one action at a time. Every day you choose to grow or stay the same. Every day you choose to act or procrastinate. The compound effect of these daily choices is enormous. Small choices made consistently over time create dramatic results. The person who reads 30 minutes a day will be brilliant in 5 years. The person who saves 10% of their income will be wealthy in 20 years. The person who exercises regularly will be healthy for life. But the person who doesn't make these choices will pay a price. They'll be broke, unhealthy, and uneducated. And here's the tragedy. Both paths take the same amount of time. So here's my challenge. Decide right now to build the life you deserve. Decide to take responsibility for your results. Decide to develop the disciplines we've discussed. Decide to learn the skills we've covered. Decide to take action on what you know. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are with what you have, doing what you can. Begin today. Begin this moment. Begin with the next choice you make. Choose to read instead of watch television. Choose to save money instead of spend it all. Choose to exercise instead of making excuses. Choose to learn instead of staying ignorant. Choose to serve instead of being served. The life you deserve is not guaranteed, but it is possible. It's available to anyone willing to pay the price. It's available to anyone willing to do what's necessary. It's available to anyone willing to become who they need to become. You have everything you need to start. You have a mind that can learn. You have hands that can work. You have a heart that can care. You have a spirit that can dream. You have a will that can choose. The question is not whether you can build the life you deserve. The question is whether you will. The choice is yours. The time is now. Your new life is waiting. Go build the life you deserve. Remember, you don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. So become more, do more, give more, serve more, and you will have more, you will be more. You will achieve more than you ever thought possible. The life you deserve is calling. Will you answer?